Let's see this. An inlet tap A can fill a tank in 10 hours, whereas an outlet tap B can empty the full tank in 30 hours. If both the taps are opened simultaneously, in how much time the tank gets full? So what they are trying to say is, there is an inlet tap. Initially, if you assume that the tank is empty, then an inlet tap is actually able to fill it in 10 hours. So from empty, it is able to fill it in 10 hours. Let's say it is tap A, and now there is outlet tap. If you open it, which means if both of them are actually allowed to work individually, then the times are given like this. Initially it is a full tank. Now if you open it, right, now the tap B can empty this tank in 30 hours. That is what is given. Now if both of them are operating together, how much time does it take for the tank to be full? So which means one tap is trying to fill it and other tap is trying to empty it. Both of them are open simultaneously and the initial tank is empty. That is the case, right? So which means if the initial tap is empty and this one is trying to empty it and this one is trying to fill it, and both of them are operating simultaneously, right? So in this case, what you should find out is there is some inflow and there is some outflow. Now we will be able to fill the tank only because of the net inflow, right? Now we should find out what the net inflow is. So say this. Now tap A is giving us the inflow, and with that inflow we are able to fill the tank in 10 hours, right? And tap B is giving us the outflow. It is emptying the full tank in 30 hours. Got it? Now we have to find out the rates at which they are working. After finding out the rate, we can find out the time. So in order to find out the rate, I'll assume that the initial capacity, let me call it as C, of the tank is 30 liters. Why 30 liters? I'm just taking the LCM. You could take any number for that matter. Okay. Now what is the rate at which we are getting the inflow? So 30 liters we are able to fill it in 10 hours. Therefore 30 by 10, which means 3 liters per hour is the inflow. So 3 liters per hour is the inflow. Now what about the outflow? We are able to empty the tank of 30 liters in 30 hours. Therefore the outflow is 1 liter per hour, right? Now if this is the inflow and this is the outflow, what is the net inflow? I'll get the net inflow by subtracting this, which means see this. We are trying to add 3 liters in 1 hour and it is trying to empty 1 liter in 1 hour. Therefore if you let both of them work for 1 hour, only 2 liters will be filled, right? Therefore 2 liters per hour is the net inflow, right? Now using this 2 liters per hour rate, we are actually filling a tank of capacity 30 liters. See this, the net inflow is 2 liters per 1 hour. Then how much time does it take for us to fill 30 liters? It is going to take 15 hours. That is the answer, right? So if you want to see it in terms of the formula which we have seen in time and work, you can assume it this way. Let us assume that the total capacity of the tank is C. Now inflow, if you assume that the tap which is filling it is taking small a number of hours to fill it, that is inflow, and the tap which is emptying the full tank is taking B hours to empty the full tank, right? Now what is the flow for this and what is the rate for this? I mean the rate of flow. For this one, inflow is C by A, and for this one the outflow is C by B. Therefore what is the net inflow? C by A minus C by B, right? Now if I pull out this as common, I will get that C into B minus A by AB is the net inflow, right? So what is the units for it? This is the liters per hour. If you assume that the capacity is given in liters and this time is given in hours, right? Now what does it mean? In 1 hour, or C into B minus A by AB liters can be filled in 1 hour if we go like this. Okay, now the question is, how much time does it take for us to fill C liters? So if you multiply both the sides with AB and divide it with B minus A, we are going to get it as AB by B minus A, right? Where B is the time taken by the outgoing tap to empty the tank, and A is the time taken by the inflow to fill it. Now in coming to this question, it is given that small a is this, small b is this, and always remember that A has to be less than B, or the net inflow has to be greater than net outflow. Why? If this is not the case, if outflow is always greater than the inflow, then what happens? You will never be able to fill the tank. The time taken will be infinity, isn't it? Okay. Now, if the inflow is greater than the outflow, then the time taken by the inflow tab will be less than the time taken by the outflow tab, right? Now, if you substitute there, it is going to be A into B, which means 30 into 10 divided by B minus A. B is 30 and this is this 10, therefore 20. So which is going to be 15. Directly that way you can use the formula, or this way you can use this. Anyway, formula is not going to work in all the cases, but still I have given you one example. Okay.